Hello, my name is Father Matthew Carnes. I'm an associate professor of government here at Georgetown, and I direct our Center for Latin American Studies. I'm speaking to you today as part of our spiritual continuity series from the oratory inside the Jesuit residence. I'm here because these are days in this journey through the pandemic of coronavirus, in these days of the journey through this year, especially this liturgical year when the Christian community celebrates Lent and the entry into Holy Week, and when our Jewish brothers and sisters are celebrating Passover, we enter ever more deeply into the mystery of what God is doing in our world. And these days of isolation through coronavirus have given me such a sense of the silence that's been brought into our world. Silence I feel on campus, silence I feel in the dormitory in which I live, which is now completely empty. And the silence of questioning in our own hearts. What does all this mean? When will this end? How does this go on? Normally at this time of year, when we enter into these 3 great days of Holy Week, Holy Thursday, Good Friday, Holy Saturday, culminating in Easter, this is a time I always look forward to for more silence, for a silence to be aware of, underneath everything else that's going on in my life, the way that God is working. This year more than ever, I feel that invitation to embrace the silent things that God is doing underneath the surface. The silent things God is doing through the care and love and attention of doctors and nurses and caregivers, essential workers, those who work in our food industry, those who work in our supermarkets. So many ways that people are supporting us silently, simply keeping witness. But deeper down, too, there is a way where God is with us in this silence, somehow bringing about the peace, the transformation, and the life that we know perdures and endures and constantly finds new ways of expressing itself. I'm reminded of a special homily, ancient homily, one that's read each year on Holy Saturday, the quietest of church days. It's the only day in the liturgical year where there is no Mass celebration. There is no Eucharistic celebration because the church falls silent before what God is doing. I'd like to share with you part of that ancient homily that reminds us that God is working in the silence, bringing about life even now. It says, "What is happening? Today there is a great silence over the earth, a great silence and stillness, a great silence because the King sleeps. The earth was in terror and was still because God slept in the flesh and raised up those who are sleeping from the ages. God has died in the flesh and the underworld has trembled. Truly he goes to seek out our first parent like a lost sheep. He wishes to visit those who sit in darkness and in the shadow of death. He goes to free the prisoner Adam and his fellow prisoner Eve from their pains, he who is God and Adam's son. The Lord goes into them, holding his victorious weapon, his cross. When Adam, the first created man, sees him, he strikes his breath in terror and calls out to all, 'My Lord be with you all.' And Christ in reply says to Adam, 'And with your spirit.' And grasping his hand, he raises him up, saying, 'Awake, O sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give you light. I am your God, who for your sake became your Son, and for you and for your descendants now speak and command with authority, those in prison, come forth, and those in darkness, have light, and those who sleep, rise. I command you, awake, sleeper. I have not made you to be held a prisoner in the underworld. Arise from the dead. I am the life of the dead. Arise, work of my hands. Arise, you were fashioned to my image. Rise, let us go hence. For you in me and I in you, together we are one undivided person. But arise, let us go hence. The cherubim throne has been prepared. The bearers are ready and waiting. The bridal chamber is in order, the food is provided, the everlasting houses and rooms are in readiness. The treasures of good things have been opened. The kingdom of heaven has been prepared before the ages. So, my friends, let us enter into the silence. Let us arise, recognizing what is going on in our midst, even now.